You know, our kidneys are kind of the unsung heroes of our bodies, right? They filter a crazy amount of blood, like 150 liters every single day, just to get all the junk out. They're incredibly tough, but they have one massive weakness. They need water. We all think of dehydration as this temporary thing. You feel a bit tired, a bit thirsty, no big deal. But what if the real cost of not drinking enough is way, way higher than we think? Okay, let's get into it.
So let me ask you a simple question. What does a glass of water actually cost? For most of us, it's pretty much free, right? Just a few pennies. But that's not really the right way to be looking at this.
Let's flip that question on its head. The real cost isn't what you pay for the water. It's what your body pays when you don't drink it. And believe me, that price can be absolutely shocking.
$57,334. That's the average cost per patient per year for hemodialysis, the treatment you need when your kidneys fail. It is a staggering amount of money, and it's basically the ultimate price tag for when our kidneys just give up. And you want to know one of the biggest risk factors for that kind of long-term damage? Chronic, repeated dehydration. Now, long before you get to that catastrophic stage, your body starts sending out some pretty painful warning shots. The first costs of dehydration are things a lot of us have unfortunately heard of. When you don't drink enough water, all the waste in your urine gets super concentrated, and that creates the perfect storm for nasty, painful crystals to form kidney stones or for bacteria to cause UTIs. It's your body's alarm system, and it's screaming at you. But here's the thing. While you can definitely feel the pain of a kidney stone, the most serious damage is happening completely silently, on a microscopic level. So let's zoom in and see what's actually going on inside. Okay, I want you to meet a hormone called vasopressin, or AVP. When you start getting dehydrated, your brain pumps this stuff out, and its main job is actually a good one. It tells your kidneys, hey, hold on to water, we're running low. But there's a dark side. When you have high levels of vasopressin all the time, it forces your kidneys into this constant state of overdrive, which causes damage that just builds up year after year. This diagram here shows exactly what I'm talking about. It's a really destructive feedback loop. High vasopressin leads to something called hyperfiltration. All that means is your kidneys' filters are just working way too hard. This cranks up the pressure, which causes inflammation and stress, and over time, that stress leads to scarring, which literally kills off the little filtering units in your kidneys. This, of course, reduces kidney function, which just makes the whole cycle even worse. So you can really think of it as this cascade of damage. First, when you're dehydrated, your body pulls blood away from your organs to cool your skin, which starves the kidneys of oxygen. Second, all that concentrated gunk in your blood triggers stress at a cellular level. Third, that stress directly hurts the kidney's tiny, delicate tubes. And here's the most important part. Each time this happens, it causes these small, subclinical injuries, damage you don't feel at all, but that just keeps adding up. And that right there, that's how a bunch of seemingly small events, like working out in the heat and forgetting your water bottle, can actually stack up over time and lead to a permanent, life-changing diagnosis. I mean, this quote from a recent study says it all, doesn't it? Scientists are now drawing a direct line from those small, repeated injuries caused by dehydration straight to chronic kidney disease, or CKD. Something we used to think of as a temporary state is now being seen as a major risk factor for one of the fastest-growing diseases in the world. This timeline just lays it all out so clearly. It starts with one dehydration event. That causes temporary stress. Then, if it keeps happening, those silent injuries start to pile up. Over years, this chronic state leads to permanent scarring. And then finally, you get the diagnosis, chronic kidney disease. And by that point, a lot of the damage is done. It's irreversible. You know, the cost of this isn't just personal. It's a massive, massive financial weight on our entire healthcare system. The numbers are, well, they're pretty hard to wrap your head around. Just look at this chart. Managing early-stage kidney disease already costs over $3,000 a year for one patient. But if that disease gets worse and you end up needing dialysis, the cost explodes. It goes up by nearly 19 times. This shows you exactly why prevention is such a no-brainer from a financial point of view. And it doesn't even stop there. Failing kidneys create this ripple effect throughout your whole body, which puts you at a much higher risk for heart problems. As you can see here, the cost of treating those common issues like a heart attack or a stroke tacks on thousands and thousands more to that annual bill. This one statistic just puts the whole thing into perspective.
A tiny, tiny fraction of the population ends up using a huge chunk of the entire national healthcare budget. It's just not sustainable, and it really hammers home why we have to get serious about prevention. Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, what's the good news? The solution is right in front of us. It's simple, it's accessible, and it costs almost nothing. It's all about getting proactive and just investing in your own hydration. And your body does give you some early clues. For example, if your urine is foamy, that could mean protein is leaking out through your kidneys' filters. If you have swelling in your legs or face, that means your body is struggling to manage fluid correctly. And if you're super tired or have itchy skin all the time, that can be a sign that waste is building up in your blood. Paying attention to these things is your first line of defense. And here it is, the simplest tool you have. You can use it every single day. The color of your pee is a direct report card on your hydration. If it's pale straw or even lighter, you're doing great. But if it's consistently dark yellow or amber, that is a clear signal from your kidneys that they are under stress and you need to drink more water. It's that simple. So the strategy is pretty straightforward. You want to aim for about 6 to 8 glasses of fluid a day. Try to make plain water your go-to drink, because studies show it has this special protective effect. And please be really careful with sugary drinks. They can actually make things worse by giving your kidneys even more work to do. And of course, this is critical. If you already have kidney disease, you have to follow your doctor's specific advice. That might even mean restricting your fluids. But here's the catch, right? Knowing you should drink more doesn't always mean you will. This huge study found that even when people had coaching and incentives, they really struggle to change their habits. It just goes to show you that building a good hydration routine takes real conscious effort. It's not just about what you know, it's about what you do. And that brings us to the most important point of all. When you think about the millions of dollars in healthcare costs and the awful personal toll of kidney failure, there's just no contest. Preventing dehydration is, without a doubt, the single most powerful and cost-effective investment you can possibly make in the long-term health of your kidneys. So, I'll leave you with this question. Knowing what you know now, knowing the true long-term cost of not drinking that glass of water, what's one small change you can make today? Maybe it's putting a water bottle on your desk. Maybe it's setting a reminder on your phone. Maybe it's just swapping one soda for a glass of water. What's one small thing you can commit to right now?